There's a weather advisory on for tonight. It's gonna go down to minus 17 degrees Celsius and feel like minus 24, but the main factor is actually gonna be the wind, which is forecasted to gust around 80 kilometers an hour. So the wind is gonna have to be the main consideration of where and how I build my shelter tonight. This is a new area for me. I'm excited to explore it, but I have to get looking. Well, there's certainly a lot of protection here. I really want to camp in this spot. There's a lot of pros and cons to it though. The pros are it's very sheltered in here. Having a fire under a rock wall is dangerous. You don't know what loose rocks will be released. So the fire is gonna have to be kept small. Maybe I just start by making a fire right here and see what happens. Well, that's kind of perfect. The wind kind of seems to be coming from all over the place right now. A little bit from back there, kind of over that direction, and every once in a while comes over from the other side. So I think it's going to be a little bit of a crapshoot, but right now I'm kind of committing to this. Maybe I'm just a sucker for caves, maybe I'm being foolish, but I'm just really vibing this right here and get that fire started. Just taking a quick break to make a coffee and contemplate what I want to do with the shelter. If I want to fill it in a little bit, or if I want to make a wind wall right there. I'm not sure exactly. I sat around for a little bit longer than I intended to, but I feel well rested now. Time to get this shelter started. Damn, a little too long. Wind just picked up significantly and a real chill just came in the air. It's starting to snow as well. I guess this is it. I was starting to think that it wasn't gonna come. But it's time to get this shelter finished. So my sheath to my axe just broke, which I hate more than anything. The most dangerous thing out here is not a bear, it's an axe and cold water. I could just put it over here and then I can just grab over there in an hour and then just cut myself. I'm just gonna leave this right here with the sheath on. I think it's only around -5 right now. But I honestly wish it was -20. When it's -20, the snow's not all wet like this. All my stuff is wet. My hands are wet. My knees are wet. My butt's wet. And consequently, I'm much colder. But hopefully it drops down a little bit and this snow hardens up a little. I think I got the hard part figured out for the shelter now. Now I just got to just fill her in a little. Well, this is going to slow me down significantly. And it's funny, in my car, I have an extra saw. And I thought, nah, I won't bring it. There's no fixing that. It's okay. I'll make do. This goes to show when you're out here relying on a saw and you really need it, bring a spare blade. Well, it's better that happened here than in the middle of the night. I doubt that would have happened, but it's going to be really difficult to finish without a saw. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm getting pretty hungry too. Okay, I'll put the last log up that I have and then consider my life by making chili. It's about dinner time anyways. I think I'll be able to get at least one more log, maybe two. And then I'll chink it with just smaller logs and then fill it in with snow. I think the first order of business is put some extra clothes on. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty chilly right now just because everything's wet. My gloves are wet, my feet are wet. I don't have many layers on. When I'm working, it's not an issue, but as soon as I sit down, I did minus 30 last week, and it wasn't as cold as this. This is like minus 3 or minus 4 out right now with wind, but this can definitely be more dangerous weather in my opinion if you're not careful. Okay, that's where that hole in that shelter really is coming through. I'm just getting snowed on right now. Oh yeah, that makes all the difference. That is just so nice. Even though my legs are wet right now, just putting fresh layers on my top just makes me feel like I jumped inside a pillow. But, oh man, just got me in a chili making mood. Gonna make some chili. A little bit of cheese. A little bit of green onion. Voila. I think we have a meal. I really needed this. I can't think of something that just goes to the bones more, you know, just a hearty meal. Exactly what I needed. Well, you learn something every day, right? Today I learned that anoraks burn. I was leaving my jacket right beside the fire. It was kind of stiff a little bit because it was frozen with ice on the outside, and I was just kind of drying it off before I chopped some more wood. And while I was doing that, I was cleaning up my kitchen mess behind me. I don't know if I kicked it or if it just sort of melted, like the ice sort of melted and then it just sort of lost its structure and fell down into the fire. And I looked back and literally the hoodie is on fire. Luckily this is the inside of the hoodie, but that's like the outside. So I'm on a roll today. I'm just breaking things left, right, and center. I can joke about it right now, but I just had to spend about 10 minutes putting my face in my hands. I just allowed myself that. Anyways, back to chopping wood. temperature's dropped quite a bit. It's around -14 right now, and you can feel it in the snow. The snow is far less wet, doesn't stick to you as much, but working out here, cutting these logs like this, it's definitely preferable to that wet snow. So I was just chopping some wood right now, and I went to take a look at the fire just to make sure it didn't need to be stoked, and it looked quite lovely, and it made me think of going to bed right beside that fire soon. And then I looked a little bit closer, and I realized my mat was on fire. So the destruction continues. It's funny how it all happens at once. This isn't the first time this has happened to me where a bunch of stuff breaks in the same day. I don't even know what it is. It must have blown in with debris that didn't have anything weighing it down. It is -17 and it definitely feels a lot colder. Today's the sort of day where somebody could really get themselves in trouble with the weather. It being really wet and close to zero earlier and then dropping down. Somebody can get all their clothes wet, as I did. I mean, it's hard not to. Yeah, it's serious business. You know, you don't want to be wet in these temperatures. It is time for me to go to bed. I have been thinking about going to bed for the past 2 hours, and I am just so ready right now. I think I'm just gonna do this. I am so excited for this. Oh man. I am just so pumped. First things first, take off these wet socks. The skin touches the cold, it just gets frozen. I am happy. So happy I'm laying down. I'm very grateful to be in my warm sleeping bag. I'm not even fully closed up yet, but I think I'm going to have a good sleep. I had a decent sleep, but my boots don't seem to be going on right now. These bad boys just frozen stiff. I didn't realize how wet on the inside they were. I kept my liners on in the bed, but the boots themselves were so wet on the inside that they just froze like blocks of ice right now. Oh, there we go. Would you look at that? -22. Feels like it. Really slow start this morning.
I am not moving quickly.
I'm all packed up and I'm so glad that I made it happen. I'm gonna leave this shelter for next time. I'm gonna improve on it. Thanks for watching.